Welcome to another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. I'm one of the co-hosts, Hubert the Mad. God damn, I'm already chopping my words up here. But we have a special episode today. It's late. It's about 9:20 p.m. where I'm at. Obviously, James and Tangus are in Denmark, so they couldn't make it. Simon, he's getting up there in age, so he might not make it either. But we have two guest co-hosts, Gondo and Bowl. Welcome, guys. We have our esteemed guest here, the one, the only, Cobertt. Welcome, Cobertt.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Wait a second. Did I just... Is Simon there? Simon?
Simon, that's it.
Simon's here. Welcome, Simon.
Simon's here. Fuck you, Simon. Read
Hello,
shit
guys.
when I write it.
Hello, how you doing? I don't know. But yeah, we're super appreciative of all three of you guys. Bowl and Gondo for being back here as guest co-hosts, filling in for Simon, Tangus, and James. And obviously Cobertt. I've been putting Cobertt through the ringer because I've said this many episodes ago, but I reached out to so many people at the beginning of this whole initiative that I realized that if I had people on every single Sunday, we weren't going to get done until 2026. So I tried to figure out maybe like a weeknight for the US folks and things like that. So I think I told Cobertt first, like a Sunday at 10, and then it was like a like next weekend or a weekday next week, and then I finally said today. So I'm very grateful that you're here and you stuck up with me. So
yeah, no problem. It's night times are the times I have to myself. So I got a little girl and a wife, and they go to bed early, so I'm up late.
Oh man, how has that been? Just you don't have to obviously give me the age or anything, but she's pretty young, so you've gone past the baby stage and everything, or no?
Yeah, she's 3. She's a toddler. So she's always slept good at night, and it's being a dad's probably the best thing in the world. It leaves less and less time for keyboards, but I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than being a dad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Gondo knows a lot about that, right? Gondo, how many children do you have? 14?
No, I'm going into 16. I had 2 more born the last month, right? And 3 of them are Simons. I made them with Simon. They suck.
Hey, it's 2025. We have the technology, right?
The technology for what? I have no idea what you mean. We just made them the old way.
Oh.
Nothing
Okay.
technological here, son. We just made them how God intended.
There you go. Well, Cobertt, for those of you that don't know, I know Cobertt from, well, a couple things. Obviously, r/mechanicalkeyboards moderator, streamer, content
Fucking
creator.
hero.
Yeah.
Only someone with the patience of a fucking saint would moderate that, but I digress.
Yeah.
And obviously, you stream on Twitch. And,
yeah, I used to stream on Twitch before my daughter got a little bit older, and now it takes a lot of time to get ready to stream on Twitch and have everything ready and lined up. But yeah, one day I'll get back to it.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question before I go into your other feats. So how did the r/MK modding happen? Because I joined the hobby super late, like 2017, 2020.
Fucking
I don't know
man.
who.
They don't know shit.
I don't know.
I can bet you like RGB 60%.
60%,
but no RGB.
Okay, that's respectable.
That's new age. You gotta bring back the OG.
Pretty much. Yeah.
The
Pro
OG.
2s. I mean, I have an OTD around. I mean, it's in a closet, but okay.
You have the code GAYASS, the bowl board, remember?
I have the bowl board. I have a couple bowl boards. This one that I'm aiming to... Actually, I'm very stoked for the one that I have here to build it on the weekend if I'm able to. But I have a couple bowl boards. Hopefully one more is coming, right? Which is the Pangea.
It's
Let's
coming.
see if it's coming. Awesome. So yeah,
We support our boy.
we support them.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
What is that, Bull?
OC62. The
Fuck
purple blackberry colorway.
BlackBerry
Yep.
HHKB, the way
Yes.
God intended
Nice.
keyboards to be made.
Oh
Yep.
man. Cobertt, aka Control on Caps. That's
Yep.
that's how I know you. Because on Drop, so Cobertt writes fucking awesome articles for Drop, and a lot of times he talks about 60% and HHKBs, and I fucking love that.
Yeah, that's where I started, in 2008. I want to say 2008. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm an old head.
Nice.
Yeah. It's weird to say I'm like 33 years old and I'm an old head in the keyboard hobby. It's wild.
That was your very first keyboard?
Is
That's how you got into keyboard?
HHKB. Yep. That's how I got into mechanical keyboards. And I've joked multiple times that I just should have stopped. Like I hit end
Yeah,
game
right.
from the beginning.
We've all
You know?
said that.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up. We've all said that.
Yeah. But no, here we are. I rocked the HHKB for like 5 or 6 years before I started like diving into other boards. So I really just between 2008 and 2014, 2015, I just kind of lurked on Geekhack, mainly Deskthority.
See, that's
Reading
an old
everything.
school. That's an old school word, LARPed. Kids don't know what LARPing is, man. You have to. These days they say you're a sleeper.
Yeah.
You know, and you skibbity. That's how you get to know kids these days.
Yeah.
See, LARPing is not a thing they know.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
so cool though, because I think, and I'm saying this, generally, most people when they come into mechanical keyboards, they usually don't go into HHKBs or 60%.
60% used to be the gateway, like pre like COVID, pre-pandemic, like boom.
Even
60% for the
earlier than
gateway.
that. Even earlier than that, the poker. I
The
think
Poker 3 is
the Poker
I've referenced that
3
a million times. Yeah.
and the N Pros were the entry drugs for
Mhm.
most of the people that I know in the hobby. They weren't for me because I'm older than that, but yeah,
Mhm.
those were yeah.
I think the most viewed thread on Geekhack still is the post your poker Geekhack thread.
Really?
It's got like hundreds of pages of people just
Oh
posting
man.
their poker modifications. Because like back
Holy
then,
shit.
like it was super common on Geekhack to run group buys for like sets of modifier keys and things. Like it wasn't full key sets at the time. Like the popular thing was to like
Uh-huh.
run the like the switch mod smiley face.
Okay.
That was ran a bunch of times. It's like different colors. You get like 6 of them in a pack. They had like Breaking Bad was super popular, and so you could get the Breaking Bad keycaps to replace your B and your B and your R on your keyboard.
Uh-huh.
That was like the super popular thing that people did. And then eventually we got into all the group buys and stuff. But before it was just like one-off caps, like getting the Geekhack caps or kind of like I don't know if you guys saw the Uwu caps. So that were just a little like cat face that ran group buy. That was how it used to be, like constantly. I had so many caps, and one of the most popular ones I remember were poker modifiers. So that was the club, spade, diamond, heart, but for
Yeah.
your poker keyboard.
Yeah. You should have pronounced it right though. It's That's how you do it.
Ooh woo.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
exactly.
Bull, go ahead.
Come on, Bo. Let's go. Let's
Oh,
go.
please. Ooh.
Party pooper.
Well, what was your very first group buy? All of you guys. We can start with Cobertt first because I'm sure he's the oldest, like group buy wise. The very first
Hyperfuse R1 or Hydro? I don't know which one came first.
Oh man.
Does it have to be a group I joined or something I have now?
Yeah, just what you joined.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you actually get yours?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Because I have Hyperfuse R1, but I didn't join the group buy. But I have my oldest group buy was probably now I can't remember. It would have been in like 2020.
Yeah.
yeah. My first one, I can't remember exactly if it was the Hyperfuse R1, which I still didn't get, and or if it was DSA Deep Space though. I don't remember which one is older. I think DSA Deep Space it's 2014 if I remember correctly. I'm trying to find the Geekhack page, but I can't even find that.
When Cobertt talked about Vaporwave and the other one, Gondo, you asked him, did he get those sets? Was there drama with those sets?
Well, Hyperfuse
Oh
is a
fuck!
mess.
Hyperfuse. Hyperfuse R1 is Hyperfuse R1 was the reason I lost sleep for a couple nights because I don't remember exactly if it was my first GB, but it was one of those. I'm a fucking broke ass student. I'm gonna get some dang ass key sets. I spent like 6 or 7 months of savings into that, and I still didn't receive that. Like 10% of people received it, Corbett, something like that.
Yeah, it was like it was super.
Didn't everybody that received it not have the F7 also?
Yeah, there's
Because my set didn't have F7, and then I bought the who was it? Somebody ran just the F7 for Hyperfuse, and I got it there. It might have been Originative or something like that.
Yeah, Bunny Lake screwed everybody on Hyperfuse R1.
Yep.
And then the community brought him back and let him run again. And it was so a mess.
Can you
You know,
give me 5 volts more info? Yeah.
We were talking about that. That's something that I was actually talking to Hubert, right? That people these days think the hobby is dead because we are having like exit scams and that kind of thing. But people don't understand that that kind of deep shit, like people screwing others over, has been like ages long, ever since the inception of the hobby.
Like, Gondo, you
So-
remember this one? This is another original screw. Like,
Yeah, that's
people
the
got
other
screwed.
one that gives me, actually, I almost got it, and a friend of mine took me out. He was like, dude, you shouldn't, because this and this and that, and the keyboard isn't all of that, and I didn't. But he did, and he got fucked.
The Mira, huh?
So GMK Hyperfuse R1 is 2015. Deep Space is 2014. So yeah, my first one was DSA Deep Space.
What was Hydro then? I can't remember. Matrix has it all.
Hydro.
GMK Hydro.
GMK Hydro.
That was 2016.
2016. Yep.
Yeah.
So if I remember correctly, GMK Hydro had the small drama with DSA Eve. I'm not sure if you remember that. So Signature Plastics, quote unquote, copied the colorway and made DSA Eve, and then there was some drama around that too. Was it Hydro? I'm not sure if it was Hydro. It was something like that. But yeah, also very old. So Hyperfuse R1. Basically, he if memory serves me correctly, it was something like this. It was based off of a shoe, wasn't it, Cobertt? The colorway was based off a Nike shoe, the Hypebeast.
Yeah, I believe
something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And it was a sensation in the hobby because the colorway is generally pretty good, and it was like the next huge thing, and everyone wanted it. And I think GMK Hyperfuse R1 was the first huge key set group buy in the community. That everyone wanted.
Yeah, there are a few before it. I think Carbon was before it. A couple of old school ones.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So it was one of those, as in it. Not only the what was done was very shitty, but the reach was immense because but many people in the community were in it, right? And he didn't deliver. It was like, how can I say this? It was the classical GB shit. He didn't deliver. He fucked people over. He lied a lot about it. The ones that he did deliver were fucked up, like the F7 thing. But the worst part for me is that he was brought back later. He delivered Hyperfuse R2.
Mhm.
He delivered Origins. Was his or which one was the Wilbus one that he was also pissed and made one? Was it Origins?
I think Origins was Wilbur, if I remember correctly.
And then I think he quote unquote sold the colorway to a huge vendor.
Originative. He sold to
Originative.
Originative. Yeah.
That did like the Originative did lots of things with Hyperfuse. So PBT sets.
DSA
I have
sets.
DSA sets. DSA Hyperfuse is the one that I'm still looking for. It's pretty. I can't find it to buy anywhere, but I have the SA. I have the GMK. I
And
have
they gave rights to Drop to sell it. So Drop has DCX Hyperfuse.
Oh.
okay DCX Hyperfuse. I think I have that too. So yeah, and so the Hyperfuse. I think Hyperfuse. If you take a look at like the true story, it's one of those things that we're used to today. It was like a GB that was fucked up, and he probably got screwed over to like someone didn't deliver. I don't know exactly what happened. I can't remember exactly. Maybe Cobertt has a better memory than I do, but it was very impactful, because the hobby was. I wouldn't say in its infancy, but it was very new. So that kind of thing was new for us,
It
right?
was
Like, okay,
the 13th group buy, GMK group buy that we
yep,
have recorded. I always reference if you guys don't know, that matrixzj.github.io is
mhm,
like the key set library. And they have
yep,
it as the 13th group by ran on Geekhack, or that we have widespread data for.
yep. But there's also a
When
lot on it. So if memory serves me right, GMK Hyperfuse was also like the whole thing about GMK Hyperfuse was that it was very shiny and the colors were custom, or one
Mhm.
of the to use custom colors, and then because all of the other ones that had passed used GMK's default ones. Then again, if memory serves me correct, the fact that it was very new and there were a lot of new things about it, and it was made by a quote unquote huge designer, and not huge designer, but someone that knew what they were doing in a certain sense.
Mhm.
They didn't, by the way. Bunny Lake fucked everyone.
can
But
I
yeah,
ask
I'm
when
digressing.
you two?
I'm just meaning by the fact that it was more impactful than it actually sounds. But at the
Oh,
time, it
okay.
was a big deal. It was like a huge deal.
Mhm.
If you ask people around, they are still sore about that. Like I am. Like fuck yeah.
Yeah.
When
You
you
know.
when you two say bring back, so Bunny ran it and then disappeared, and then people reached out, and
He never fully disappeared. Like, he would always like pop back in from time to time. I believe it was some sort of illness in his family that stopped him from like fulfilling, and he would come back and he would ship. Like, the thing is, like, he would trickle out sets. So like, like some people would get their sets and then be like, oh, he's back, he's like doing the right thing, and then he would disappear again. And then it was like, is if memory serves correctly, that was the like basic origin. Then he came back,
Yep.
and then he ran round two, and round two seemed to go fairly well as far as group buys go. But then, yeah, he sold it to Originative, and then Originative has actively shut down any um, attempts to either rerun the set or to get access back to the set or anything like that. So I think the most recent example of this was DCS Super Weld, which is a Hyperfuse. It's a
Did you see
Hyperfuse
that they're
colorway.
trying
Like, I
again?
guess, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get with like a bluer hue to
Yeah.
the mods, which I don't know. I think that Will from Signature Plastics is kind of done playing games with everybody on like, no, that's my colorway. That's my colorway. Like,
Yep.
if we have demand to run it, we're going to run it. And if you don't want to run it, then okay, we can make it. Like, there's still obviously respect for, the creator out there, but like, for something that's like iconic in the hobby, it's like nobody bats an eye when somebody makes an 8008 or an Apple AEK. Like, it's one of those designs and colorways that transcend the original design. Like it's
Yep.
notably community run. Like that's what I think you could say that to Hyperfuse. I know that Toombury's still out there somewhere. We had just had Carbon again. But there's still demand for those like old sets and the like nostalgia sets, as I call them. You know, people didn't get their hands on them when they first ran, so there's always that desire to get them back. And I know that was a huge thing during the pandemic, but that kind of messed up a bunch of things.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a DSA
Yeah.
Hyperfuse. If anyone listening to this has a DSA Hyperfuse to sell, please let me know.
He'll pay you in feet pictures for sure.
Sure. Yeah, if that's your thing, I guess.
I wanted to ask this because it got brought up. I know it may seem like super heavy for like the first 20 minutes in. Excuse me. And the three of you, I want the three of you, your opinions. How do I say this? So obviously we all know that the barrier of entry to run a group buys is very low. I mean, you could be whoever. We've seen kids, very young teenagers run group buys. Some successful, some not. But what do you think of the situations where there is some sort of illness or some family issue that a group buy runner is facing? Again, I'm sure it's different in every single case. The most recent one I remember is Krelbit. I think it was his mom who was diagnosed with cancer or something like that. And unfortunately, there are orders that are unfulfilled, but it's not. Obviously, it sucks, right? I'm not saying that keyboards or keycaps are above real life, obviously. But what do you do as someone who's affected? If the group buy runner has that sort of thing happen to them, do you, in your mind, would you give them a grace period? Would you trust them again? Like, what are your thoughts if you join a group buy, and then the group buy runner says, some personal shit came up, illness with the family, things like that? Will you be lenient? Is it a case by case basis? I just want to get everybody's thoughts. Whoever wants to start can start.
I can go ahead if I think I have two perspectives here as a vendor and a consumer. First of all, I think as a vendor for myself, I think if that, God forbid, something happened in my personal life, I think the first thing I would do is ask for help. I think if anything I've learned from being in the hobby this long is people are nice and are happy to help you. I mean, like, I think my first step would probably be reach out to another vendor or friends, or like, obviously there's people I work with all the time to try and get some sort of solution before anything got out of hand where it's months of not communicating, anything like that. So I think that's a good thing for vendors to keep in mind. That's what I would do personally. But from a consumer standpoint, I kind of had something like this happen, kind of. If you guys are familiar with Streamline, the Duality TKL, I didn't buy the Duality. He commissioned me to design a different keyboard that he ran in a somewhat private group buy. And basically right now, everybody that was in the group buy received just the keyboard itself and not the PCBs or plates or gaskets. And it's missing like the cool weights that was part of it. So I originally, and something, it was like his cat was sick or something and all this stuff. And like people were pretty forgiving and like I was forgiving or whatever. But like then I offered to fulfill everything for him and he hasn't responded. Like I offered multiple times. I said I'd do it for free. Just send everything to my house and I'll ship it. But he didn't even respond. So that's where the cutoffs for me. I think you can give people leniency, but if they've offered help and are just like not responding or not even looking for help, it's kind of like it's especially, well, the other thing is there's a little more context for that, is that he posts on Reddit more than once a week. So that it's like he's online. So like it's like, dude. So he's just ignoring everybody. But I think like if in the case of like Krelbit, I think somebody like him where he kind of had such a good history in the hobby, and I don't know if people have offered to help or if he's asked for help, but I think asking for help's the way to go. And like as a consumer, I think that you can offer obviously like your condolences or any help that maybe you can do, or maybe you can help get people in touch with them or something. So I guess that's how I feel, is like start with grace and then see what you can do to help find a solution. Then I think it takes a lot for me to really like hate somebody or get mad at them, but unfortunately some people don't really,
Yeah.
I think I'm on the same page as Bull here. Like, I know that, at least in the case of Bull, we have mutual friends in Chicago that are always like, hey, if you need help fulfilling anything, like, call the crew. Like, you know who
Stub
it is.
literally has come to my house, not out of necessity of me needing help. He just came just because he wanted to hang out and fulfill keyboards.
Yeah. And I mean, hopefully Bull knows that I'm a call away if he needs help with anything, because we're, neighbors in the community. And I've supported his projects and stuff in the past and would do it again in a heartbeat. Not even a question. So I think that the main thing is how the runner handles the like the trauma or the issue that's going on. If you maintain transparency with your community and you provide updates, even if that update is like, this is a really heavy week, this is what I got done. Like, I packaged like 3 things. I emailed the vendor. I know that they're coming. I have a shipping, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to do last mile, right? Like, as long as they're providing updates and still putting in the effort, like, I mean, I tell this to my wife a lot. And I think it goes the same with your community relationship, right? Like, some days I can give 70%, and you can give the other 30% to make the day work as a full. Like, if you give as much of yourself as you can to that project or that, adventure when you're going through a tough time, like, that's enough as long as you're doing something. Like, you can't give 0%, right? Like, but you can give me 10% for the day, right? And do something to like try to move the needle. I've seen cases of vendors that end up, hurting themselves because instead of doing something that moves the needle, they talk in their Discord about what they're going to do. Like, you know, it's the old saying, right? Like,
After
actions
dinner.
talk, and actions talk, and talk walks, So that's my point of view on it. And if someone wants to come back and they've made an effort through the whole thing, like, hey, this time I'm going to be a little hesitant to join your group buy, right? But like, if you tell me that you're going to partner with like Mike from Novel Keys, or Upas from Canon Keys, Garrett from Omnitype, like, you're going to get somebody that's got some heft and pull to their business, like, I might give you the benefit of the doubt there. I don't know. I feel like it's obviously a case by case basis, and as Bull jokingly said, I don't know how many times I got told after dinner I'm going to do something after dinner, or I'm out to eat with friends right now. Like, dude, you're out to eat with my money. Like, go do something.
Yeah.
Like, that's the hard part. And for those of you that don't know the reference, it's lube switches. Like, we're calling them out because what happened was absolute garbage, and he dragged a lot of people's names through the dirt with him on his way down. So,
mine included. Almost we of Rickball. Almost we got into that.
Almost
we passed through by the skin of our teeth.
I was just happy the OC delivered, and
he didn't do anything
no,
for the fulfillment. So that's
true, very true. He
did,
just
however,
handled the
fucked us
money.
over
Don't worry, I just had to
hugely
message him multiple times a week to pay the invoices.
Yeah,
fucked us over hugely on the protagonist, though. That was complicated.
that was a bad one.
It was very complicated, but we did pull through. Like, the protagonist got shipped. It's fine. We did deal with some PCB shenanigans later on, but it was fine.
I never got my pro tag. That's a bummer. But
no, you're going to get it. Randall is working on that, and he tells me that he's going to be able to get everything. His problem, I think, is more logistics, because he's just one guy, and of course the whole money thing.
Yeah, no, I think mine is a special case because I use store credit to get my
Oh shit! Yeah,
my
then
protagonist, so I probably will not
that's
get
something.
one. Yeah,
that's a bummer.
because so everyone likes to say that Loobed was or whatever. I was in Loobed Pocket or whatever as a moderator. I sold Loobed $4,000 worth of switches like 5 years ago. That was the extent of my business deal with Loop. And to get him to pay out, I took some of my payout in store credit so that he could not worry about that. So in order to not put a strain on his financial status, I took store credit.
People thought you were in Loob's pocket
all the time because
Yep.
why isn't Loop banned? Why isn't Loop banned on RMK? Because number one, like it's a process to ban a vendor from RMK. And every time that not even myself as a mod, like any mod reached out, he would provide evidence that he was doing things. And it's like, we're banning you on what front then? Like the community wanted it, and that's fine. The community wants to see a lot of people banned from RMK. But the hard part was that before I started moderating, far before I was a moderator, I made the Nebula switches with Prevail, which was a keyboard company that shut down fairly gracefully, based out of Florida. And then in the aftermath, I got one of the things I made sure to do was get the rights to rerun my switches with JWK, Duroc, the whole parent company over there. And I had the rights, and I had a couple of vendors reach out. And at the time, Looped was a small switch, primarily switch, some accessories vendor. And at the time, he was doing good stuff. He had like the Sangria switches, which were pretty good. It was before any of the
Well, it's
like
mostly in
drama.
stock, so
It was, yeah, exactly.
It was fine.
Yep, it was in stock. His thing was hand lubed, and then he had just started doing some like Switch pre-orders, which are fairly safe. Start to that whole idea of a group buy. So I took my switches to him, made the same deal that I had with Swag of Prevail, and sold them up front. And then I decided to take part of the money as store credit, just so that it wasn't like there wasn't ever going to be a thing where he didn't have money because he was paying out me for switches, right? That was my entire business deal with Chris of Looped. Along with a couple, like he'd send me like a keyboard to look at, and then I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like that's about it. I give him feedback on designs and things. Like
right.
I do it for a lot of companies.
Right. I want to ask more about that, but I don't want to leave Gondo hanging. I'm sorry, Gondo. What's your take on the what do you call it? I don't want to say excuses because someone's sick or there's something. What's your take on all that?
Honestly, I tried running a couple group buys. So I tried running 3 group buys for PCBs specifically. Actually, 4. The first group buy that I tried running was for the Shark PCB. I designed the Shark PCB at the time. This was quite old, a case, and I sold a couple of them here in Brazil to a couple guys. I sold PCBs here in Brazil, and I tried making an international group buy of this PCB called the Doddle 60. The Doddle 60 was a request that the community had for a 60% tray mount, the poker one, ironically, that had the mounting holes for the poker, the 60% tray mounts. The OGs will remember how that is. Yeah. Specifically with the ISO layout. And they wanted something very specific. It had to have the ISO layout, and that was it. No LEDs, no nothing, because they were a little bit jealous of the ANSI people that we got those simple PCBs. But the ISO PCBs, anyone considers ISO only in very generalistic PCBs that have everything. Right? So they never do only ISO. They do ISO with the LEDs and all of the layouts, and they wanted one of those, and it was a fucking nightmare to run. I bought the PCBs, and then they got stuck at customs, and then shit happened, and then I lost like 2 or 3 times the amount of money of the GB to fulfill it at the end of the day. So from that day on, I was like, I'm not running GBs for 2 reasons. First, Brazil. Then again, I've talked about this a couple times before, so running group buys from Brazil is insanely difficult because importing stuff here is difficult, that kind of thing. These days, what I do is exactly what Cobertt said. I partner up with people. So Bowl is a huge partner of mine, and we are working on more PCBs. I work with Canon keys, I work with novel keys and people like that. For 2 reasons. If something happens, they have the support, they have the means, they have the people, right? So that's what it's about. Okay, Bowl can do his thing in his room or his house or anything, but Bowl is one guy, right? If something happens, that impacts his operation, I would imagine. Whereas if something happens to me and someone else is handling it, then I wouldn't say it's fine, but it's less worse. Most when I run small projects, then I have this fab that does drop shipping. So like the PCB fab ships directly to customers, so I don't even like get the PCB. So excuses, what I can say, man, I like we try to be empathetic to people to the extent that GBs, they take months to complete, right? You order and then you have the fab, and sometimes the fab fucks you over. Sometimes shit happens in life, right? But what really grinds my gears is when people start making shitty excuses, like Loobed did, or I remember quite distinctly Tesletron. Tesletron was a guy that fucked me over pretty bad because I was working with him in a couple projects at the time that he did all of that. Noxary and Jaxx, they are still like imprinted into my memory because they happened to do all of their shenanigans and their shit right when I was working with them. And that was very crappy. Jack, specifically in the Rukia V2, I was the guy that convinced a friend of mine here in Brazil to like sell his car to get a Rukia. So that hit fucking close to home. Yeah. So I had this friend Shark, who the Shark PCB was named after actually. He was like, "Hey, so I got raffled into the Rukia SE, which were like a green special version for Baby Yoda or something like that." And I was like, "Dude, that's awesome. You should absolutely get that." And he was like, "I don't have the money. I'm going to need to sell the car." I'm like, "Hey, if anything, it's only going to get more valuable, right? Eventually." And that he did. He sold the car, he got everything, and he never got the Rukia. He actually quit keyboards because of that. He like moved to Portugal. Not because of that, but like the chain of events of quitting the hobby and getting very frustrated with it. He was like, "Fuck that, we'll go to whatever." So that's what grinded my gear. When you see people making excuses, you see Jack saying that he bought a fucking ice cream machine. That was the end of it. I the ice cream machine thing was one of those that I broke a guitar over. So I had this guitar, and I was so pissed that I broke the bridge of the guitar because I was playing so hard because I was pissed at that. I didn't have gym at the time. So I think that if shit happens, then don't make excuses, right? Just tell them how it is. Everyone is gonna understand. Like, yeah, shit happened. I'm sorry, and ask for fucking help. Gladly, we have lots of big vendors in the community that can offer that kind of support, and that's dope. That's insanely dope.
And having contingency plans helps. Like
Yeah.
like Gondo said,
Of
I'm
course.
one person. I do everything day to day, but if I don't know, was hospitalized or something, the people I work with would take everything. So like we have, if you guys are familiar with Control or any of that, those guys are happy to help, and I would do the same for any of them. So yeah, I think that Gondo's right with the bad excuses. Really, like there's just no reason to. As soon as I hear one bad excuse, like the person's kind of, that's where I won't go back if you come back, like,
Yeah.
because that shows your work ethic too. It's like
I have burned a lot of bridges, man, because of that. Because I much prefer the peace of mind than risking it. So someone has this specific way of dealing with things. I'm like, listen, I'm not working with you. That's So yeah, It is what it is. I think that we have a huge problem we used to have a huge problem in the hobby, which were people are giving too much money to dumb shits, weren't they? Like Cobertt, like Hubert said, so anyone can launch a DB. And it's not like that anymore. It's not that simple anymore. It used to be. It used to be like any dickhead would go into Geekhack and say, "Hey, Geekhack, I made this awesome thing. Who wants it? Bada bing, bada boom, 100 units sold." No, that's not like that anymore. As a matter of fact, that's how Noxary started. That's how Jaxx started. That's how Tesletron started. They made nice projects and they sold those projects, and then eventually they fucked up. But that's not how it happens anymore. Myself, I've been having huge problems doing some projects because people are like, "Hey, that's not marketable. That it's simply not going to sell." So I'm like, okay, it's not that simple anymore, which is actually good in a certain sense, because the projects and the people that work on the projects are getting a little bit um, selected. It's more selective, which I guess is natural.
I definitely see the selection has like become a huge deal post pandemic, right? Like I feel like we all know that during the
Bubble burst.
the bubble has popped on keyboards,
Yep.
and everyone's like hobby's dying. It's like I see it. I'm a moderator, right? Like I see every single post that goes to RMK, and while the sub is just as active or more active than it was pre-pandemic, but it's what people that were in the hobby before the bubble happened, they don't care about. Like nobody, like I know probably nobody at this, table really cares too much about like an Aula F75, right? Like an Amazon $80 custom hot swap keyboard with some knockoff. Maybe it has QMK, maybe it's some forked version of QMK that doesn't actually work correctly because it's not supported because they're using a tri-mode PCB, right? Like we all know these
Let's
constant
clarify.
white.
Let's clarify what that means, by the way.
Okay, yeah, let's clarify. QMK is you go. You're the PCB designer. Who am I? What am I to say?
Is, that's one of the things that grinds my fucking gears about this thing in the hobby. That what you just said is it. We as how can I say this? Let's use the word old school. Okay, so old school keyboard enthusiasts, we used to care a lot more about what the project was about. As the hobby became more, let's use the word marketable, right? So then again, the Aulas, the OEMs, I don't know how to call those keyboards, the huge Chinese ones.
They're white labels. They're white. Essentially, they're white labels.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's call them, but not only white labels. I mean also like the QWERTY keys, the Neos, the huge ones, right? Which are not actually white labels, but I'm putting everyone in a single pocket, like huge Chinese keyboards, the Aulas, the Neos, because they became a huge incursion of those after the pandemic, right? And people don't care about what those projects are about. They just care about things. But one of the things that people don't understand is that making keyboards, it depends very much on one single point of fracture, which is software. Making good software for keyboards fucking sucks. It's so difficult. And the people that do that, QMK, and also now we have ZMK, which is also awesome. Also, huge shout out to TMK, Hasu. Those people are pretty good at what they do, and they invest a lot of fucking time into that. Basically, when you're making a keyboard for QMK, you are obligated, when you make changes to QMK, so hey, I want a wireless PCB in QMK. Currently, QMK doesn't support good wireless. Why is that? When you're making wireless, you have the wireless chip, right? You have the microcontroller. This is that word, microcontroller. The APIs and the SDKs for the Bluetooth, so in a very broad sense, is the commands of code that you use to talk to the Bluetooth. They are very, very, they are held very close to the chest by the manufacturers. Why? Because they pay a lot of money to make those Bluetooth. They have to pay a huge money to the Bluetooth Foundation to make a Bluetooth project. They have to regulate that. So you can't get their SDKs and their software ensemble to make your thing and open it up. That's not possible because they have a license. When you use their SDKs and their APIs, they have a license, and that license is pretty restrictive. You can't redistribute it, for instance. However, when you use QMK, you're obligated to redistribute it, which is the core thing about open sourcing. Hey, I think I can make this better. So when you make it better, you get QMK. It's free. It's awesome. But if you make it better, please give it to me back. That's the core idea of QMK and the open sourcing community, right? So you see that you have two very distinct problems. One that is QMK has an open source philosophy of if you made it better, don't do it just for yourself. Give it to everyone back, right? At the same time, when you're doing Bluetooth, the restrictions imposed by the Bluetooth manufacturers, everything here is very loose, okay? I don't want to go into technical terms, but the restrictions imposed by the manufacturers, they don't play well with that open sourcing licensing. So we have a very problematic clash of licenses, right? So what these huge companies do is they just pull QMK, they do their shit, and they don't give back. And fuck you, right? And that's actually illegal. So in the US, you guys in the US have very good not very good, but very developed, let's use that word, intellectual property laws. And you have actual legal cases of open source software where people went, hey, this is the license. You see the README that no one gives a shit about? Yeah, that has been used in actual court cases for intellectual property. So it's like a legal binding document, right? So it's very complicated that when you go into the ethics of it, it's very shitty what they're doing. They're making something based off of community code that was supported by the community that everyone made better. I did my small, part in it, and then they are just using it and they're making it better for themselves. And fuck you, So that's very shitty of what they're doing. And I really, it's really sad for me that the community doesn't fucking care about that. I just spent 5 to 10 minutes talking about firmware, and probably the people that are into this say, I don't fucking care, man. I just want a wireless keyboard.
Yeah,
That's the end of it,
And that's the sad part about it is like people don't. I guess there was a time that I didn't understand the ramifications of what the violating a GPL2 is in the US that's what it's called, a GPL2 license, general public license. And it's an open source specific license. I didn't really understand why it was such a big deal until I had somebody like Gondo explain, like, this is why this hurts the community, because it doesn't always seem apparent. Like, for complete transparency, I have a Neo Ergo right here because it was, at the time, it was too good of a value to pass up for a tinted Ergo keyboard, right? I went and looked for a tinted Ergo, and at the time, the Gawk Ven was the big one, I believe, and the Type, yes, thank you, Type K. That was a big one, and I wasn't even sure if I'd like the layout, right? So you get a keyboard that you can test on, and then when someone explained how they're violating the open source license of QMK, like, that's where my support stops, right? Like, I don't agree with that. I'm not going to support that anymore. And it goes a lot for any of these companies that are also they're doing QMK, but they're also stacking a screen on top of their keyboard. That is not open source. That also violates it because it's part of the entire process of the QMK keyboard. So a lot of people don't understand that when they see their keyboard. I almost would rather someone go out and buy something, like a poker, right? Or like one of these mass produced keyboards. Like, I'll even go out as far as say, like, I'd rather see someone get like a DOS or, a Leopold, any of these like older keyboard companies. I'd rather you go buy one of their boards, because at least I can tell you that you're going to get support on the board. Like, that's the biggest problem that I've noticed, is that, like, if you have an issue with your Aula or your EPO maker or your HK, ZK, GK61, they're all the same board. If you have issues with that post purchase, you're getting zero support. Like, you're getting your Amazon return, and that's about it.
Yep.
If I have people that are still running DOS 2s, right? Like, way back in the day. They're still running their DOS 2 keyboards. They work great. And they're like, yeah, I can still, do everything I could when I first got it. And I don't think that there are a lot of these people with like, I know was Pegasus GK was like a huge one, like at the very beginning of the pandemic, that people were like, oh, I got a GK61, but it sounds bad. I was like, yeah, you got a plastic board and you've got the cheapest material switches that they could put in it and some RGB and some very thin PBT keycaps, right? Like you get what you pay for, but you also get more support if you're going to go with like a bigger brand. You know, I mean, we've all learned the whole Amazon, how it works is if you buy something from a random string of letters, you know, you expect random strings of letters as your support. That is what it is.
That's okay. So before I ask my next question, selfishly, this is one of the reasons why I started the podcast, because yes, I know things about keyboards, but it's fucking awesome to hear from people that know their shit. Like I had no idea about the whole the QMK thing, like how they're bypassing it. Like that's so fascinating to hear from Gondo and from you, Cobertt. Like it's so fascinating. So this is amazing to me. And even if it's just like the hardcore viewers that always watch everything that's interested in this, fuck it, because this is amazing to me. Like
it's an important message, and I don't think that like it comes out. I see it a lot in Reddit comments, mainly because I moderate them. But like I see there's a lot of discourse over whenever people are posting like, "Hey, this is QWERTY Key's new board," and then there's also the moral dilemma that we as a moderation team have talked about is like, if they're violating GPL 2.0, what is our responsibility as a moderation team to do we allow them to post their product? Do we allow them to promote their product on our subreddit? And there isn't a clear answer. Like,
no, there's not.
It's one of those, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because obviously we want to keep the subreddit, moving in a direction, keep people engaged, keep people talking about keyboards, right? But if we were to all of a sudden say if a project is violating GPL2 licensure, we don't allow promotion of it. And promotion could be as simple as someone, hey, I bought a new keyboard. This is it. And how bad would it feel to the new person in the hobby? They buy a keyboard. And to us, it's, not anything special, right? But to them, it's really cool. And they feel part of this community, and they post it and it immediately gets deleted by me. Oh, dickhead basement dweller mod, like you're an ass because you deleted my picture of my keyboard that I just bought to be part of your community, and you say it's not good enough, right? And that's not the intention behind it, but that's all people see. So it's a very challenging position to be in, as what I like to consider myself like you almost kind of bring people into the hobby and educate them, right? Like it's challenging. And then I played the role on MGB, which is now a Discord that I run solely, of like a place for people to learn and to help people understand more about the hobby. And it's challenging. It's like you can't just delete every Evo maker, every HK, Keychron hasn't done it yet, to my knowledge, violated QMK licensing. I don't think. Gondo, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think
I am not aware.
Keychron has.
Yeah. Keychron has done the smart thing. They've been smart at that.
But I know that I spoke directly to Chilkey, Melotrix, Wuke Studios, because they were a big violator of it with their Zoom series and their Chilkey series, and a little bit in their main Wuche Studios lineup. And I spoke to them about it, like, candidly. It's like, you guys, I like the direction of the design of some of your boards. Like, I think it's cool. I think that it's great, but you're violating QMK, and it's not a good look. So the last I knew, they were looking to go back in house.
Oh, fuck. No shit.
Hello, everybody. Simon's actually here. Cobertt was explaining about QMK licenses and how companies kind of move their way around that to make wireless work.
I would never ever edit the Bluetooth shit. What is it? Bluetooth.py. I would never edit that file one time because I know that's illegal. I would never open that file in Notepad++ and change the contents of that file because that would be very naughty.
Yeah.
Does it work that way?
It's literally it's I don't understand why it is that way. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Could I turn on the fan? Because I just realized it's like a billion degrees in this room.
Go for it. But yeah, Cobertt was just explaining it to us. I don't know if you remember your train of thought, Cobertt. I'm sorry.
Cobertt was saying that he was talking to Vuche and Meletrix about the whole problem that they are violating the licenses and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was told from their last contact, which I think some of us know, Sean from Taiwan is his like handle. He was a community manager first for he was a community manager for Fantex originally in the computer scene.
Okay.
And
That's
then he
kind of
moved.
based.
It is based, right? And then he moved to Cable Mod, and that's when we saw all those cable group buy makers, Summit cables, all that garbage fall through. And then Cable Mod stepped up and gave all of those people cables like for free. That was all Sean from Taiwan's doing. And then
Wait, no, sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
We do need to take a moment to pay our respects to Comet Cables.
You mean Rose cables or Lotus pads or
no, I'm calling any of the 50 cables companies that has shed over this hobby the last year? That's what you mean.
No, this is all one person.
No, it's one person. No, I'm with Simon on this one. It's one person.
Guy. But
one guy was Summit,
name,
Rose.
No, you have to pronounce it right. It's Comet Cables. Okay,
yes,
we've all seen the pictures. We've all seen the pictures. We know how it works.
Why is this hobby filled with thieves and lowlifes? What the fuck is happening? Why are we inviting so much fuckers into this hobby? What's going on?
We need the Four Musketeers.
Simon gets the Comet Cables official.
How do you have that? That's not even a thing. How do you have that? Did you make it?
I have contacts in the hobby that make things.
Clearly.
Cobertt, we GB that. If you make a GB out of that, you're gonna sell the shit. I want 3. Nice.
I'm so glad I joined. I'm sorry, guys, I wasn't able to join. We're having like a kind of a family event like this whole week/weekend. And I very coincidentally started to have like incredibly suspicious, like real bad symptoms for my back pain. Like when you like lose feeling in your groin and whatnot, that's when you go into the emergency room. I'm at that level, so I'm going in tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not gonna die, but if I do, and I'm paralyzed forever and I can never stream again, guys, this is the last time you're ever gonna see my hands move. So I'll see you there.
Oh my god. I'll give you my hands. They'll transplant these hands onto your body.
I'm pretty sure those hands would immediately, like, you know how like if you have a transplant, there's a chance that like there's a rejection your body doesn't like. No, your hands are going to disconnect from my body and walk away like in the fucking Addams Family because you don't want to be on this body, my dude.
Shit, dude. But how are you? I know
I'm okay. I'm not in pain. It's just like I had the weird symptom that I know is like a real bad thing. So like I immediately called in. I'm being responsible. So it is what it is. I'll find out like in the next few days. Like I've had like my back thing for a long time, but it'll be nice to talk to somebody to get an idea of like where I'm at. You know, am I gonna need surgery or can I like still be walking around in 5 to 10 years?
That fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry for you.
It's fine, dude. It is what it is. It is what it is. Fuck it. We do what we can.
Fuck. If if you want to see Simon move his hands for the next 5 years, please donate to blacksimon/tv. What's your link?
I don't have a link for people I don't have a specific link for people to give me money. Actually, I do. Okay, believe it or not, there's a secret link that is so secret that actually allows you to donate to Illuminati keyboards specifically. Because if you donate to Black Simon TV, then the money, like by my own rules, needs to be used for stream stuff. But if you donate to Illuminati keyboards, those rules don't apply. However, I do have other rules. The rules are generally like if you donate like $200, like I'll hold a slot for you for my next buy, because why the fuck not? Like if you care that much, I'll hook you up, dude.
Guys, this is like the secret menu at some fast food places. Like if you know how to get to Illuminati keyboards and you know the specific amount of money, you can unlock perks and benefits. I do want to ask, this is my last keyboard question, and then I was going to ask like fun things, non-keyboard stuff. What possessed you, Cobertt, to become a moderator for r/MK? Because it's a thankless job. Simon said it. We all know it's the shit that you get. Even on a good day, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden some random vendor starts going down and then the shit hits the fan. Like, how did you get into your position now? Did you know the things that you had to do, you had to face going in?
So, a little bit heavier of like a reasoning, right? So in 2018, I lost my youngest brother and my best friend, the same person, to suicide.
Sorry, man.
And that's when I stopped being like a lurker, LARPer, on the keyboard platforms. I had like watched this hobby like grow. I'd been part of it. But I never really like used a voice or, participated actively in that regard. And I realized that, like in this whole grieving process, it was the December, he passed away in July. It was December. And I had ordered him, it was 2018. I had ordered him a keyboard for his birthday / Christmas. His birthday was right around Christmas. I ordered him a keyboard, one of the original Tofus from KBD fans.
Was it a V1?
It was a V1, yes, with the sliding weight, with the double USB-C. You could pick left or right side. Yeah.
Oh, you boys don't know what you're missing. The beauty of OG fucking low cost budget keyboard. What was it, like $139 at the time?
I think it ended up costing me just over 200 because you had to buy the plate, PCB, and
Separately, yeah.
separately. So I think it was I don't know, that one you just had to buy the PCB separately, because the original Tofu was HHKB only, and it was integrated 5mm plate.
Oh, so good.
And
Wait,
I bought
it was for the first
one, the original. Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't even remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, that was 2018. And it came right before his birthday would have been that year. And it just sat in the box for a little while, and I looked at it. I bought 2 sets of GMK Violet Tendencies, and that was going to be, we were going to have the same. At the time I was using Hydro on, I can't remember, or Hydro on a Mars 8.0, if you know what that group buy is. 37 units of that one. I had a Super Silver Mars 8.0 with the blue inlay, and the joke for that board was that I put water on Mars, because it was the same time
I remember that exact post on RMK.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah. I think I only remember that because maybe at that time I had also posted something and was upset that yours was doing better than mine, because that's the only reason why I would remember. I'm being honest.
What the fuck?
Oh no, I rarely post on Reddit. Like I will very rarely, like I'll comment. Like I'll comment to help people out. But like to make up, like I rarely make a post on Reddit. When I make a post, it's something like unique that doesn't always hit. But when it hits hard.
Yeah.
But I think like I had posted something at around the same time, and like I remember seeing it. I don't remember like if I was upset or whatever, but I remember seeing that. It was dope.
Yeah, honestly, I regret selling my Mars board.
I regret selling my Hydra.
But that's fair. But it's the revolving door of the hobby, right? It'll come back to you. I got a board back that I never thought that I would get back. But so I had this board and these keycaps. I had bought it was the first run of Zeal V2 switches for the Zelios V2 because I had the Zelios V1 in my Mars board and I really liked them.
Oh no. Oh, wait, you like the V1s?
I did like the V1s.
Okay, so are you one of the rare based men who is okay with massive wobble in their keycaps? Because I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I don't notice it when I type. I type it like 100 words per minute. Like it doesn't matter. Like
I mean,
if it
I type
wobbles
at
a little,
69 and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like I don't get people that are so anti-wobble. Like people went real hard against wobble in like the 2018, 2019 times, and we all know who was leading it.
Yeah,
well, his name starts with I.
People against wobble can wobble these nuts.
and then you have like switches. So in this one are the lunar probes by Gateron and the Kerbit. Shout out James from your last episode on YouTube.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that was like 7 episodes ago in actual recording time.
Right? Excellent board from the original run of the Kerbit. But I put the Gateron lunar probes, which are the dual rail switches that are supposed to have less wobble, and like it doesn't even matter.
Wait. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Like, I may be super ignorant here, but like, what the fuck is dual rail? How does it work?
So you know how like when you open up a traditional MX switch, you have the rails on either side.
Oh no! Is it rails on all 4 sides?
No, it's still only the 2 side, but it's 2 rails. So there's 2 rails on the sides.
Contact area.
You're minimizing the contact area, but you're gaining. Yeah, Bull's got them right there for us all to see.
Thank you.
You're putting
it looks like a little
equal sign up and down, right? Like
no, it looks like a tiny little like baby hand. No, I'm serious. It looks like a
Are you talking about my hand?
No,
I'm just kidding.
That'd be mean.
Fuck.
No, you gotta the angle. If you get the
angle, if you look at it like that, it looks like
it looks like a doll head.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but it's got it's basically as a channel in the middle of your traditional slider on your stem, and that's to guide it up and down so that it wobbles less as you press it. And
does the bottom have that rail where that gap is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just meant to.
You just have 4 guide rails instead of 2, basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The only problem with it is they had to loosen some of the tolerances, because if the tolerances are too tight when you have point of contact on what is essentially like 4 sides there now, it will bind if it's not well lubed. So that's the downfall of it, is that there's still wobble because you have to loosen the tolerances for the switch not to bind on press.
Shit, I don't even like. I remember I once tried a switch that like literally had 0 wobble, and I hated it, but it had 0 wobble, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was. It was a Franken switch that I had put together, and I know one of the parts was Panda. I think it was a Panda stem, right? So the original Panda stems were like a little bit thicker than all the other stems, right? You had like
that and the cream stems were a little bit thicker than most. So you could.
I don't think it was creams because it would have been earlier. Like I wouldn't have fucked around. Like this was before I had lost all hope of switches ever being good, and my disillusionment had like 200% because I had tried all the new beam switches at the time. So this was maybe like 2018, 2019 max, maybe even 2017. I'm not sure.
Is it the one that you talked about during the episode with Bull?
No, it's not the Vince Panda Steadlio. We don't talk about that.
Okay.
But
okay.
And we don't talk about the Razor Stoddles, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, the wobble doesn't matter to me, but I do like the Zelios V1. But yeah, so seeing that board sit in my closet for a while, and then it got me thinking about the excitement that I had to share this part of my life, like my hobbies, with my brother. And I wasn't going to be able to do that again. And so I have 2 other brothers. They're awesome. They're just not techie. They're just not into tech. Like, they like their Nintendo Switch. They play games. That's about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Super cool. They do outdoors and everything. But my youngest brother and I were like playing games all the time and, doing computer things. And so I was really bummed that I didn't get to share that with him. And then I was like, well, there are probably number one, there are people probably out there that are looking for just someone to like converse with, right? And talk to them. And they wanted to, they felt overwhelmed enough to ask for help, but might not have received it, because not that the keyboard hobby was not welcome to newcomers, it's overwhelming to newcomers.
Oh,
and
which
a lot
is one
of people
thing that
feel
people also say a lot, that isn't it? That there's a lot of gatekeeping in the hobby. Fuck no,
Mhm.
that's not.
No, there's
okay.
it depends on how you
As
define
one
it.
of the largest gatekeepers in this hobby, and like, I'm not saying that proudly. I'm saying that because like, I gatekeep in ways that
You
make
shouldn't
sense.
say it proudly, by the way. Just
Yeah, of course. No, I know. I'm just making it clear for everyone. But like, I do gatekeep in ways that are primarily like related to
shitty, really dumb.
education and learning. No, Gondo, don't listen. We can meme around, but like, you do it too. Like, if somebody reaches out to you and they're like willing to learn something, they're asking the right kind of questions, you're gonna answer them. You're gonna be like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll help you out, dude. I don't care. I have shit to do. I'm fucking busy as balls. I got my own fucking problems, but you know what? I'm gonna take time. I'm gonna help you out because you're asking the right questions, right? But then you get people that ask nonsense fucking questions that are very clear that the guy has at most done a cursory Google search if he put the effort in. You're not gonna fucking spend the time and effort to teach somebody like that. That's the correct gatekeeping. That's the gatekeeping that I practice. And that's the gatekeeping that I know you motherfuckers practice too. No
I
matter what you
practice that
say.
shit. We're not fucking Morpheus in the Matrix. We're not telling people what's right or wrong. The right way to do things, what's real and what's not. No. If someone asks me, is this good? I'm like, yeah. Should I buy it? I don't know. You have fucking money, bitch. That's me. Like, I don't have the time. I'm sorry. If people actually want my opinion, I'll give my opinion to them. Okay, so is it a good keyboard and that kind of thing? But my point is always, you could get something better for the same money. That's my point.
I don't know, Kyle. You make it seem like you're very dismissive. I know that's not
What the
true.
fuck? Nope. You
Dude,
don't. Nope. I'm not.
I know you're a nice dude. I know you help people. I know about the secret fucking Gondo. I know about the good boy Gondo that helps people. I know. Nice fucking try. We know. We see it. You're just like, no, I'm tough. I don't help people. Yeah, fuck those people. Yeah, asking me questions of ideas. I fucking know you're answering that shit, dude. Come
I
on.
think maybe
Come on.
5 or 6 years ago, before like I started moderating or doing anything, I did reach out to Gondo with a question, but I framed it in a way that, because I was trying to learn like what I was doing wrong, and Gondo did answer me. So
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
but wasn't it? Were I an asshole answering you? I was, wasn't I?
no, I thought you were
Fuck.
perfectly fine.
You're lucky. Gondo
But you
doesn't even
can
There are
respond to
good
me.
people. There
No,
are
no,
good people.
Gondo, I am willing to concede to your point that you will help people, but you will still be an asshole, because I am the same way. I will happily help people, but still be an asshole. But I'll help people.
I think
Listen,
but I also think
I
it's
have
how
that freedom.
people approach you, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I spoke in the pre episode. I come from education background, right? Like my
I'm so
default
sorry.
education in America, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is what
Fuck.
it is. But I approach things like with the expectation that like I'm at best I'm inconveniencing you, right, with a question. But, at most maybe I found something that might be like an issue or of interest, right? Like, so I try to frame it in a way that is like I'm trying to be approachable in my return and be like, tell me if I'm being dumb here or if I'm not understanding this correctly. But like, why is this the way it is? Or am I not doing this correctly? And I think that when you approach it with like, you don't owe me anything to answer, I think that you're met with much better reception than
Absolutely.
if you demand like an answer.
Well,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's the how can I say this? So okay, yes, I try to be an asshole. I can't. It's not in my material to be a jerk. I try. I can't. I've tried. I did. I'm sorry, mom. But yes, I try to answer people nicely, but there's a limit to it. There's because like
Yeah, of course. Of
when you
course.
talk to people, everyone has their threshold of, especially language. So when someone approaches me and they ask something, I don't know that person. Of course, I remember our talk. Of course, I remember our the reason and what we messaged when you messaged me. But matter of fact is that I knew you because you were a mod. I didn't know, like, I don't know who you are, anyways. I don't know what's your threshold for. Like, I can tell Simon, you fucking piece of shit. You should read a book and educate yourself. And Simon's gonna laugh about that. Laugh,
Yeah.
Simon. See?
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
Oh, no. No, I know where the books are. They're in the garage. I haven't taken them out since the
Exactly.
container run. There's a book I was reading in Dubai, and I haven't been able to finish it. I'm kind of upset.
I'm sorry for it.
It's the 737 MAX 8 Operator's Manual. It actually is. That's not a joke. Poria gave it to me as a gift. It's not the operation, it's the maintenance manual, but like it
Did
sounds
you
funny.
actually go through TSA with that?
Oh no, it came in
Okay,
a
I'm gonna
container.
say this. I am so sorry, but you looking like you do with the fucking airplane manual in your hand going through TSA, that's not gonna play well. I'm sorry, shit happened.
Gondo, you want to hear the weirdest fucking shit, dude? Because I remember
When
watching.
Simon wants to tell weird shit, that's when I wonder. Let's go, Simon. What's weird? Come on. What's Simon
Okay,
levels of weird? Let's see.
so I mean, like 9/11 happened. I was relatively young. I watched the second tower fall live on TV because at school they sent us home early, just like because like everybody was so scared. And
Okay.
I remember the fallout of that, and I remember like how like airports started to change. And I remember one day I was walking into an airport, and I think I was flying from like somewhere in New England to like through Texas to somewhere else, and I was there and I saw like the people ahead of me, they were getting their shoes taken off and they were like swabbing them with a thing. And I'm like, oh no, that's probably for bombs. And then the gear started to turn because I spent all summer with my friends putting fucking M80s and explosives in my shoes and blowing them up for fun. And my shoes smelled like fucking gunpowder. Like just like if you picked them up and smelled them, they smell like gunpowder. So I'm going through the airport and I see like they get my shoes and they put them in the machine and I see them talking to the guy in front of me and like they stop him because he's got a whole bunch of knives, like chef's knives and shit. And like they take him aside and they scan my shoes and like it comes like I don't know what like the result was, but they're just like, yeah, go on. And that was when it started. I have always had amazing luck at every airport I have ever gone through my entire life. I have never been profiled once. As a matter of fact, I once arrived to an airport 10 minutes before the flight took off, got to like the company, it was Qatar Airways. I walked to their desk and I'm like, listen, I'm so sorry. Here's the situation. And the dude behind the desk ran me through the entirety of the airport using the back doors that nobody has access to. And I was on time for that fucking flight. I have always been lucky at airports. There's more stuff that I can't talk about that's more recent, but Gondo, you'd be fucking surprised. If you're just a chill fucking dude, you get pretty far ahead. Even if you're dealing with people that might be racist and you might not be as white as they like. So you never know.
Dude.
Okay.
All your luck, like I have all the bad luck. They always fucking stop me. I always get pat down. Like the like
Really?
yeah. I don't know why.
I've never been
I
pat
get
down.
pat down every time too, but I think I have a diabetes pump, so I think they
Okay.
always they do like the swipe on your hands and everything every time.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. Like,
But
I mean they can see like they don't know if it's a gun or if you got some weird shit. That's fair enough.
I always get stopped too, but I don't know if
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I would stop you.
Well, I don't think it helps that I'm also 6'4" and
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would stop you.
massive, like as a human. Like
I mean, generally, like I think the general rule of thumb is if you're like wearing like loose clothes and like like if you just like a teensy bit more formal, a little bit like tighter clothes wise, you're never stopped. I've never been fucking stopped. I was stopped once in Turkey, going through the X-ray machine because I had 3 bottles of Chivas, in my little bag, and the guy was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, What's that? Is that Chivas?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Nice." And that was it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole fucking conversation.
Yeah. I just get stopped all the
have
time.
the worst luck in airports, man. Like the worst fucking luck. Like when I went to Singapore,
sorry, guys.
when I went to Singapore, I was stuck at the airport for like 3 hours.
Okay, wait. To be fair, when I flew into Taiwan and I walked up to the like customs and border thing, I didn't have a form filled out, so they made me go fill out a form. I think that's the worst I've ever had it.
I had a TSA person give me flack for having to go into the body scanner sideways.
Oh
They're like, "What
no.
are you trying to hide?" I'm like, "Sir, my shoulders hit both of the sides."
Yeah, okay,
That's
that's
actually
fucked up,
I
dude.
got that.
I was like,
I got that in Madrid.
Oh
I was like,
no.
I don't know how I walk through a doorway that is less the distance that my shoulders are, right? Like
Uh,
no, and it's hard to pick. Like everyone's like, when I met Squirrely Stub in person and stuff, he's like, "I didn't think you were as big as you said you were, and you're bigger." And I was like, I don't know how to describe it. I was like, "You guys have all seen me in my chair, and I tell you guys every time, it's a Titan Labs XL chair."
Yeah.
And
man is large. Man is
it's a
large.
large man, right?
Dude.
Like,
Yeah. We always have the handsomest guest. Cobertt is no exception. They're either handsome, fucking jacked, or a combination of both. Every single time. Besides Paul. Well, Paul's handsome.
Okay. First of all, 1, that's being incredibly fucking shallow. 2, Paul is fucking gorgeous. Paul gets laid more than all 5 of us combined
With
in
women.
a month, but he fucking does it in a day. And with women, okay?
Okay.
Hey. I can yeah. Okay, you got me.
No. Listen,
but that's what
it's not what you look like. It's not like how big you are, how small you are. It's how you comport yourself generally. But to be fair, like most people, they see a big guy, they get kind of spooked. I love big guys. Big guys are the sweetest fucking guys.
That's because you are a big guy.
I'm not a big guy. Like I used to be a tall guy. I got measured at the doctor a couple days ago. 2 inches shorter, which is about 5.3 centimeters shorter than I was a few years ago, just from
You
like
never
my
get
back getting
inches, do
fucked.
you? That's not a thing that happens. That is what it is.
I mean, it's 2.54 centimeters, and I have to do the math in my head. Yeah, inches are. I was 6'2". Now I'm like 6.
Oh no.
I mean, my ID still says I'm 6'2", so yippee. That's what matters, right, boys?
Hey,
I guess.
that's true.
but in a roundabout way, right? Like the desire to share the hobby with people and to
This man's so
like
great.
to to basically share all the knowledge I gained by lurking for the better part of almost or of 10 years at that point. I wanted to share that with people in the hobby. So at that point, I think it was early 2019, the subreddit, or not the subreddit, the Discord mechgroupbuys started. And it was a way to track all of the group buys in the community because Geekhack is Web 2.0. I love Web 2.0 forums, but you can't converse on them very well. And every old school geek hacker knows that we joke about geek hack search and how terrible it is to find anything.
Plus
Wait,
mini
there's a
code.
search?
Come on.
Doesn't work.
Okay, so there isn't a search. Okay, yeah.
No, there is a search. It
There
just doesn't
exists a
work.
search,
Yeah,
but using
but it doesn't work, so you don't have a search.
basically
Yeah.
using Geekhack search is the equivalent of trying to find you in the Polynesian mountains. That's how it is.
Or finding Waldo in one of those pictures, or finding the G spot, if just in
It
general.
doesn't exist,
What is
right?
that?
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's where the G-men hide. You know, you
Yeah.
look for the reflection in the sunglasses. That's how you know you're close.
right.
Fucking dumb
And
people. The G spot is where the Logitech logo is the G.
Oh, holy shit! You know, have any of you like spoken to Lovi recently?
Spoken what?
Lovador.
No, not recently.
Yeah, that's a reminder. We gotta reach out to our boys. Always reach out to your boys. Sorry, I just got a reminder that one of my boys is a boy I haven't reached out to in a long time. I gotta see how my boys do. You know,
Yeah,
just
check in on your homies. That's also the moral of the story, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
check in on the homies, make
Like
sure
he
they're
was
doing
gonna
all
move to
right.
Dubai, but then I left Dubai. So like I don't know, like what is he doing? Like he's got a family and shit. Like I gotta check up on my boy, make sure he's all right.
But yeah, I wanted to share it with the hobby, so I started doing the helping people on the mechgroupbuys Discord specifically, and tracking all of the group buys on Geekhack, and then when asked, my 2 cents on a board, I'll give it, right? Like, I've seen enough, I've bought enough boards, I've been in the hobby long enough that, like, I can pretty much tell you what kind of typing experience or how a board is going to feel or sound based on seeing the construction, seeing the materials, where are the mounting points, what type of mounting style does it use. Um, so I just started helping people. And then one of the older mods, Dryer, who's one of the head mods of RMK, reached out to me, Driver, and then Omnius reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I see you do a lot of really good work on MGB. Like, do you have any interest in helping out on RMK?" And for like the first year, I just mainly did like content mod stuff. And then as group buys started to fail and more and more issues came up in the hobby, I started doing the whole work with vendors to try to like see what, like, we have a lot of not pull, right, but we have a lot of easy contact in the community, right? Like, if I reach out to Upas, or I reach out to Garrett of Omnitype, if I reach out to um um or I reach out to Mike of Novel Keys, right? Like, they all have a vague idea of who I am, or at least that I'm at least trustworthy enough that the information is good, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that like I'm some, you know, grand prolific person in the hobby. It's just that I have the connections in the right place to be able to be like, hey, we know this vendor's struggling. Like, is there any way that you can like help them out or whatever? And that's all that I would do at the beginning stages.
And to be fair, when he's talking about connections, we say connections because it's easy to say that, but it's not connections, it's relationships that you form with friends. It's not a power play. There's no calculation involved. We have that luxury because we've built up so many friendships across the hobby. I have so many friends. I've met so many great fucking people. And so many of them are people that I owe so much fucking to. And some of them are people that, I will help out and fucking send it. So like when we say connections, guys, like understand, like you can make your own connections. It's not a business thing. It's make some good friends, meet some good the homies, go out, have some beers with them if like you can have beers. Go to a place, check out some shit, hang out online, play some video games, do something. It's remember that like in the keyboard hobby, even though you might think that like you're like real like withdrawn and like you're not super into like meeting other people, most people are like that too. So like it's all right. If you make a little bit of effort, the person on the other side will make a little bit of effort too, and like you'll form a good friendship, and eventually you will have the luxuries that we have, because you've built friendships with great people.
Plus, that's how we all started.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I started chatting in Discords and on Reddit and on Geekhack, and like my whole goal was always from the start was I want to help people understand the hobby better, or mechanical keyboards as a whole better. And that's kind of the mantra that I've always kept. And like sometimes it sucks, like, because sometimes people will they will impose ulterior motives on like why you're doing something, or like I explained earlier with the situation with Loobed, like, oh, you did business, you're doing business with Loobed. It's like, no, I very publicly pre-moderation days sold $4,000 worth of switches to Loobed and took half of that as store credit so that it was not a financial burden to the company at the time. And I got burned for it at the end, right? Like, I took store credit, I got burned for it. When he eventually went under, but I have no financial meddlings with any single company in keyboards. Like, it's crazy the amount that you get
I think that
accused of.
No. Fuck all of that. Forget all of that.
People also don't understand the fact that when you work with people, there's a different relationship that goes on. So, for instance, me and Simon, we haven't worked together, but I know that Simon delivers. I know that Simon is serious about his shit. You know,
and I know
although
Gondo is serious. Like, if
jokingly,
I need a PCB and Gondo needs to do a PCB, I know he'll fucking do it. He'll do it pro bono. He won't take a fucking dime because he knows I'm not gonna make money either, and he knows that if I'm gonna make money, he's gonna make money too.
It's
But I
not
know
only
he's
the thing
fucking
about
solid.
making money. It's like, unfortunately, for me at least, I don't know about you guys, but for me at least, my connections in the hobby, the people that I most work with, it's not that it's conditioned, but it's in a context of work. So my relationship with that person depends on a very steep fact that they deliver, they work, they do their stuff. They're not just friends. I consider them friends because it's gotten personal. Simon knows a lot about my life that honestly I wouldn't like divulged, but he knows a lot of what I've been going through. Like, I know Cobertt, how it is to lose someone in that horrific way, stuff like that. But the matter of fact is that when I work with, say, Bull, right? Bull is a friend. I love Bull. Bull is awesome. But the matter of fact is that if I don't deliver, Bull is going to get mad at me, right? So when you have those connections, more stuff goes on than just being friends. There's a lot more, tried and true that goes into that. So it is a little bit different. So when someone tells me, hey, so you're friends with the big guys, I'm like, no, I work with the big guys. That's different. So we've been through thick and thin. Lots has happened, Someone that I respect a lot in the hobby is, for instance, Yupas. Not only because I consider him a friend, we've met personally, I know his wife, but also because we've worked together and we did a lot of stuff together, and shit went south and we helped each other.
Yep.
Right.
No, he is that kind of lad.
What I mean is, when you also work with someone that builds a different relationship with them, and I don't know, I don't mean only work in the money way. So Cobertt, quote unquote, works with vendors, right?
Wait, Gondo, I'm gonna stop you and explain this to everybody else in the simplest way. When you meet somebody else, you meet a woman, you meet a man, you meet whoever you want to meet, right? And when you're dating, it's one thing, but the test is always when you live together. When you live together, all of the pretense, all of the bullshit disappears, and you get to see the person as they truly are. And when you work with somebody, it's exactly like that. I've had the pleasure of working with fantastic people and also terrible people, and I know who each of them are. And I'm so sorry to like yoink this conversation back, but Cobertt, you were talking about something a little bit earlier, and that was about wanting to teach people about the hobby and about keyboards. And like, I would fucking love if like us who like have the knowledge, who have the power, who have the connections, come together and literally produce like a video series, a blog series of like everything you need to know. Because you don't need to like keep up with the current shit to understand the basics. Like, I'm sure that like as a group we can all come together and like build a resource of information. Because I tried that, but it was a solo project. I did like my keyboard A to Z playlist, and that was like kind of like for like people that were already introduced into like keyboards and we're trying to get into custom keyboards, like what is a group buy? How do you know something is good? What are switches? What do you do while you're waiting for shit? What if the unit that you get is bad? That kind of thing. But like a more like overarching, far more simplified thing. It sounds like really fucking like corny, but like think like the videos that Microsoft used to make to teach people how to use Windows kind of thing.
Right.
Like not as corny, but like that kind of information, right?
We need James's marketing though. Like, did you guys see his OCR2 marketing with the old school ads?
Yep.
We need his marketing for it. Hubert might know of it, but now it's not hosted because Lube Switches is no more.
I remember
but
that.
I wrote I think it's like 15 pages beginner's guide to keyboards. And it literally walks you through every single step of like, well, what is a layout, right? Like you go into a keyboard and you're like, what is a 60% layout? What is a 50% layout? What is a 75% exploded layout mean? Like, what does that
That's great.
mean?
Okay, so we have the text. We just need to get it in front of people. Like if we got the core, we can just, like update it.
Yeah, I need to rehost my website. That's the problem.
That's
I
fine.
took my website down and I just need to rehost it.
That's
I own
fine.
controloncaps.com. There's points to nowhere at the moment.
I will give you absolutely free hosting forever.
All right. We'll do it. We'll do it, Simon. We'll do it.
Yep, I want to fucking do this. Like I want the big guys to come together. I want me, I want Bull, I want you, I want Gondo, I want fucking Nathan to come back from the grave. I want Alex to join. I want all the boys. I want Glarsis. I want everybody to come together and build a definitive guide. And it can be like a YouTube playlist where like it's done on like all sorts of different like channels or whatever, or we all do it on a group channel. It doesn't fucking matter, because at the end of the day, this is an educational thing. And even if you're in it for the money, even if you're in it for growth, you understand that getting more people in and educating them properly is the best thing you can possibly do. Like I've been wanting to do this the whole fucking time, but it's not something like I can do alone, and it's not something I can do with a few other people. We need to all come together. And I know that like some people are like, Gondo knows PCBs like a fucking god. I know that when it comes to logistics and group buy planning, I'm pretty good. I don't like, maybe there's people that are better than me, and let's fucking get them on, you know?
Shout out to Gondo for this bad boy right here.
Oh, where's that?
Holy fuck.
Yes.
Oh man, don't get me started on that one. I have to deliver the new ones for that too. But that was an amazing PCB you did.
I have the original polycarb.
Did yours crack? Mine cracked.
Mine isn't cracked yet, but it is being held together with 2 screws.
There's hope.
There's 2 screws that are holding this thing together.
Yeah, mine
There's hope for the crack.
Dude, that's a great idea though, Simon. Let's do it. Everybody.
I would love to do that. And like my only issue is like with all the shit going on in my life right now, I don't have the bandwidth to do the planning. I'm usually very good at the planning and like getting people together to do shit, like see October, see my entire community, whatever. But like I've been spread real fucking thin recently, so like I know I can't fucking do it. Like I wasn't even supposed to show up to this podcast because I was so busy, and I was like, I feel real bad not showing up because
we are your seeds. We are your seeds. You just plant us, just spread us like apart.
Spread your seed, Simon.
Spread us like there's spread your seed everywhere.
What?
In all seriousness, no. Like all the keyboard people that have been on here as guests, as co-hosts, like everybody has a common thread, and they're fucking awesome people, and they like to help. So this is a fantastic initiative, and who better to to start it than someone who is considered to be the asshole of the community, which is nothing further from the truth.
Wait, what? Am I the asshole of the community?
The Beige Knight.
Actually, do you guys understand how much fucking effort I put in? The assholes of the community, the guys trying to sell you $3,000 keyboards that they spend fucking 15 minutes on because it's a fucking witch. I'm the guy trying to help you. I'm not the asshole of the community. Oh no, I was going for something else, but like that is an acceptable thing.
Like literally the Beige Knight, not the Dark Knight, the Beige Knight, the hero that the people need but don't deserve, or whatever the fuck the quote is.
Okay,
wait. They didn't ask for.
Oh wait, no, wait. That's the wrong button. Okay. Wait.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
The Beige Knight. Where's the Joker? Rachel!
Why so serious?
Real talk though, that's a fantastic fucking idea, and we would love to help, and not just us, but like everybody. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice. Like I did like the Black Simon wiki, which was like, again, it was something I started right before I was like moving country. So it, like the only person that put any like significant amount of effort into it was Wellmerer, also known as Wellme, who's somebody that historically had some problems in the community and like in terms of communication. I mean, they were young and it's understandable. I'm willing to cut people some slack. But he did a lot of the content, but unfortunately, like, you know, good writing is not his skill set, and that's not a dig. I mean, I can't write for shit. I'm not a good writer. So like it's okay. But like it'd be real nice to get people together and like actually build some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of resource that like, cause okay, XKCD fucking comic of, oh no, there are 14 standards for this thing. We should make a standard that is better than the others. There are now 15 standards.
Yeah.
So like I don't want that to be a thing. It needs to be a community effort because it requires everybody that has power and influence in this hobby to show it as the primary source of information. That's what
it has to be
required.
Universally accepted.
It needs to be universally promoted. It means when Alexotos makes, when Alexotos speaks, he says, this is the resource. When Type speaks, he says, this is the resource. When I speak, I say, this is the resource. When you guys speak, you say, this is the resource. That's the only way it works, is if we all build the resource together in such a way that like we don't really have anything to gain from it. We just want to help people because getting people into the hobby and getting them educated is the greatest fucking investment we could ever fucking make.
And it's kind of like almost like the perfect time. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the old sites, right? The sites of old. Deskthority, like officially
it's gone.
Dead.
It's gone.
So, and I think Deskthority was probably one of the
it was the
most
greatest
used
resource. It was the greatest resource in terms of information.
That's very
especially
sad,
in regards to vintage keyboards.
No, even forget vintage. Just like
right.
Geekhack does not include that much information. Geekhack was not a toying and tinkering and documentation forum.
No, absolutely. It's just
Web
2.0.
Sales forum. Deskthority was the core, and I really hope that somebody has archived it. And if you are a person that has archived it, by the way, DM me. I got a server with RAID that does offsite backups, and I'm gonna add tape storage. So like, just so we have additional backups, just in fucking case, I'll store the data until you guys need it.
I'll get that for you.
All
yeah.
Right.
I have access to the
just so we fucking have it, because that is a wealth of information.
Yeah,
I
very
think we
well
captured
curated
it
though.
Yeah, we almost need to I know that so the problem is like currently we have no central location, right? Like Deskthority was kind of the central location for like a wiki-esque. As close to a wiki as Mechanical Keyboards ever had. Reddit wikis suck. I just got a new message from Reddit admin the other day about they're relaunching Reddit wikis, but I don't trust Reddit. Like,
I noped out of Reddit once
Reddit
they sold out to the AI company.
Yeah, it's become very shady ever since
like
they sold.
I've only posted like 1 or 2 times since then.
And honestly, the Reddit community fucking sucks. I'm sorry, fuck Reddit.
Well, listen, I mean, I was born on Reddit, and if we think about it, I'm sure that many of us were born in terms of our like getting into the community and like communicating with other people and learning about shit. Reddit is what made us.
Reddit is really good because it casts a super wide net, right? So it's
Yep.
going to capture everybody within the community. And prior to COVID, COVID is a big turning point for the hobby. I think we can all
Oh yeah,
agree there.
Probably
But not
the.
only was I agree, but the thing that happened with COVID is the boom of Discord, right? Like Discord was like before you just had your Discord channels with your friends. Like it wasn't a platform where you went to like I could go to Gondo's Discord, I go to Black Simon's Discord, I
Don't
go to
don't
Bull's
come to my
Discord,
Discord.
don't go to
I could
Black
go
Simon's Discord.
There's nothing there.
you know, but
It's not a place you want to be. Trust me, I am the
Don't.
guy in
Yeah.
charge of it.
The
Don't
the
go in my Discord
the Black Simon
unless like
Discord is
come
yeah.
to
abandon all hope, all ye who
I
enter.
mean, yeah,
come
guys.
to
So you probably have
discord.gg/mechgroupbuys.
you probably have like enough neurons so that you can spare some. So maybe getting to the Simon server spend like 5 minutes there. But if you cherish your neural capacities, then yeah, you should avoid it.
Come to mechgroupbuys. Right. No, but like there's no so what Discord did to the community was well prior you had Deskthority, you had Reddit, and you had Geekhack. The Reddit was made
I mean, we
because
also had
Ripster shit
KBD
posted
Lab,
his way out.
but
True.
that was for the people that like, if you weren't Korean, that was for the people that were like real hardcore that would like,
Mhm.
still like check out the ICs, the fucking galleries. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
The
people don't even
Illuminati
read ICs anymore these days. People complain ICs are too long, then kind of
right,
thing.
right. Okay, so so Gondo,
People don't even post ICs anymore.
I watched your fantastic clip. Funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It was all Gondo's idea. All Gondo's idea.
No,
man.
it's totally fucking fine.
What do you have to
Here's
say
the
first
thing,
off?
though.
What did you think about my rant?
No, it was gorgeous, but you have to understand, like, the whole premise of my group buy and IC reviews is I am the man of the people, which means I read it like an average person would. That's like one of the rules. So if there's a lot of words, I specifically try to not read them. It's not a me decision. I promise. Like I like reading words. Words are nice. All right. Not always, but like but I look at a project in such a way that I bring down my IQ a little bit. I bring down my problem solving a little bit and I remove all the experience I have. And I look at the project like I would as a normal person. And I think that's a fair like assumption for when it comes to like scoring an IC or a group buy, because I have to score it in a way that makes sense. Because like for me, I can sometimes look at a project and be like, this is fucking insane. But people look at it and they're like, this is stupid. And sometimes you got to think like the people, because in order to help somebody that's trying to run a group buy and is incapable of speaking to the people, they need somebody that can come out and be like, you need to make this part stupider and this part stupider because it's what's best for the project, because you're actually going to sell units, because it's a fantastic project. So when I give stupid input like, there's too many words. Why are there too many words? More pictures. It's for a reason. Like I don't do it because I'm like illiterate. I do it because it's like the entire concept of group buy reviews. And sure, sometimes it goes a little bit too far, but I get you, Gondo. But like you have to understand, like the point is to read it and to look through it like an average person that's not super into the hobby, right? So like nobody's gonna take too much time if there's too many words or there's a table of contents or something like that. It's 2025. The average person can barely watch an 8-second long TikTok without reaching and grabbing their cock because they're thinking of porn. Let's be realistic. So like we have to understand like the world that we live in, and I'm doing the best that I can, dude. And I know that you are too, and I know that like whatever shit you bring up is just in good fun. But like I'm saying this not for you. I'm saying this so that people that are watching like understand. When they see like a clip of me acting like an absolute idiot, looking at a group by being like, No, the words are too big, because they might actually be for a lot of people, because unfortunately we're cooked.
Are you
If you
proposing
don't have
TikTok
Subway
ICs?
Surfers on your IC, then I don't read it, right? Like,
Right?
I can't read it unless Subway Surfers
I mean,
is on.
reminder that I'm putting out 90-minute long, like, fucking, like, keyboard reviews on the regular. I know that's not what people want, but I know it's what the people need. So, like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I don't care about the fucking viewership.
I think one of the last, so I did, when I streamed, I did IC reviews as well at the end of my build. Like, people could post in, like, the ICs they wanted me to look at. And I took it from the opposite angle of Simon and explained why things were significant to people that wouldn't know whether it's significant. Like, I remember, I think one of the last ones I did was actually Bull's OC62 and what was significant about it versus like your normal like 60% board, and like explaining to people what a cherry lip is and what that means, or how it's a friction fit
So
daughter board versus
just so you know, the times have kind of
Oh, I
evolved.
forgot
It's
I
no
did that.
longer called a cherry lip. It's called a pog chamfer. You
a
gotta have the
pog chamfer. I
You
like
have the
that.
pog chamfer. There's an emote for pog chamfer in my server that we stole from a different server, just to be clear. We didn't invent it, but it was great, and now it's ours. TM, okay? It's
Okay,
called a pog chamfer now.
I need to make a sticker.
Oh yeah, it's great. The emote is the chamfer tool image from Fusion, but with the pog mouth coming out of the angle. It's
That's
great.
great.
You know what else is great, Simon?
Yep, go it. I'm not mad. Do it. Do it.
Good keyboard friends. Before I do this, Cobertt will have you on again for future episodes because there's so much to talk about. I want to get into teaching, your teaching, and your teacher background, stuff like that. But really want to thank you, dude. Like, it's amazing. There's a reason why every single time all of us co-hosts get on with an amazing guest, it's the best 2 hours of our lives, best 3 hours of our lives. For me,
Best 7 hours of our life.
See for yourself. I have nothing better to do.
Honestly,
because Simon hit the nail. I was in TikTok just masturbating, and then it was like, hey, the stream thing is going on, so might as well.
Yep, I know how it works.
Yeah, Simon knows his shit. Yeah, he knows me too well.
Selfishly, for me, like,
sometimes
the weeks are fucking rough. Oh, I did before. That's why I'm so energetic. Like, in the beginning, I was energetic.
Awesome.
Now
Yeah,
I need to recharge now.
I should do it before too. Yeah.
I know. There's a reason why I love doing this podcast every single time, once a week, twice a week, because it's 2 to 3 hours that I just get to hang out, listen to people that have much more experience than me, listen to amazing people in the community. And I want to dedicate this Good Keyboard Friend of the Week segment to one of those people. But real quick, Simon, how do people put forth their nominations if they don't want to send us a DM in Discord, if they don't want to post publicly on YouTube, if they don't want to comment? How do people send in their nominations?
All right, boys, listen. If you want to post publicly anywhere on the internet, okay, I'm going to give you the DL. All right.
Yep.
You got to keep this on the DL. All right. We do have a website, okay, and it's hugemeatbox.com. Huge as in huge jacked man, meat as in, well, and box as in what's in the box.com. That is an actual website. You will actually like get to our link tree, and you can like view the podcast on your favorite platform. If maybe like you've been watching us on YouTube and like you wanted to get on your iPhone or your Amazon Fire tablet because for some reason I don't know, when you burped okay, I'm not gonna make the joke about
please don't,
about the Bezos semen bubbles. We're not gonna do that. We would never do that. The link that
don't
you are
knock
looking
the
for.
Fire tablet.
Oh no, they're great because they're cheap and you can fucking like flash them with something else.
You can root them for something else.
Until you couldn't. Good job.
No, you still can.
Oh, based. Okay.
Yeah.
So
my homemade baby monitor right there.
The URL that you're looking for is hugemeatbox.com/nominee or hugemeatbox.com/nominate, and it'll take you to a Google form. And if in all honesty, if you guys are like unhappy with the Google form, like I can set up something more secure where there's no logging, no tracking, and like I can do it for you guys. So like if that is a thing, you can fill out the form and just let me know that. I'll set it up. Like I can set it up in like an hour. But it's three lines. You don't have to sign into Google. You don't have to provide your email address. You write who you are, who you're calling out, and what the shout out is, why they have been an important keyboard friend for you. And a keyboard friend doesn't need to change your life. A keyboard friend can be the tiniest thing in the world that made us a difference that slowly added up over the entirety of your keyboard hobby, because we all started from fucking nothing. I started from nothing. Every single person on this podcast started from nothing. And all of you have started from nothing. The original creators of this
And to
entire hobby
nothing you will
started
return.
from nothing. Exactly. So like no shout out is too small. No person is too unimportant, because there are so many people, there are thousands of people that have all cumulatively gotten me to where I am. And if I were to sit and shout out all of them, we'd be here all day. So instead, Hubert's going to do the shout out.
So this one is from BlueHornet, which is an amazing guy.
Yep.
We've talked about him many
He's
times.
a regular. We know him. He's out and about, very active in the community, very based in his opinions, but willing to learn and willing to shut the fuck up. And I respect that.
He nominates Shane. Shane was a coworker. Oh God, no. Shane was a coworker about the time I bought my first modern mechanical keyboard. He had a 60% with split bars that he dailied. I was chatting with him about his board, and I mentioned that I had considered getting one to bring to the office. He looked at me and said, "We sit on a computer for 8 hours a day. Why wouldn't you want a good keyboard?" And that was the trigger I needed. I ordered my first aluminum keyboard that weekend. I might not be here without Shane. He was the nudge that got me into the keyboard hobby. For that, I nominate him as good keyboard friend.
Let's
Fuck
go.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Shane,
I'll pass.
thank you.
Thank you,
for
Shane.
being, yeah, thank you for fucking making it happen.
Fuck yeah. I'll pass it on to
Thank you,
Cobertt.
BlueHornet, by the way, for making
Oh,
it
yeah.
happen in reverse. Please
There you go.
continue to make it happen. Okay. If any of you have somebody in your lives, and it doesn't need to be like purely keyboard related. It could be something that like was keyboard derived. My wife is keyboard derived. I met my wife through keyboards. That like if you trace it back far enough, like something
little
major in
main
your life
mystery right there.
probably came from keyboards, dude. So like it's important to recognize the people that are important to us, the people that made an impact on us, and it's important to make sure to, you know, keep in contact with those people and like keep shit good, make sure they're okay, make sure like there's not much you can do if you're online and you got friends, you know. I had a friend slash previous employer that I've been helping out for the past like 3-4 years pro bono. I've been helping out with like his hosting, his tech, his infrastructure, all of that, and I've been doing it for free. And his sister had a sort of center for like child development for children with developmental disorders, autism, stuff like that. And like she would help out with like incredibly like, you know, fair like pricing and like good stuff and all of that. And like she was never very techy, so I always did her side. I always did like I always I always did that shit for her, you know, because like whatever, I can do it. It's easy. I don't mind. And she passed away recently, and it's so quick, so fast. You know, somebody young can disappear overnight. So like you gotta appreciate the people that you have. You gotta make the connections. You gotta build the relationships with everybody while you can, because they may not die, but they might leave the hobby. They might not be accessible anymore. You might not be able to contact them anymore. So build that relationship. It's huge. It's massive. It's valuable. Do it.
I think that if I had to nominate somebody today for good keyboard friend, it would honestly probably I'm gonna shout out two people. Um, there is a person online that goes by Liberator. Um, he's more active in private discords. Lib. He just honestly one of the most genuinely good people in the hobby, and just wants to see cool projects be made, and is just one of those people that like you want on your team. Like if you want, you have somebody that you want to throw ideas at, or if you have like questions, or he's just one of those people you can
It'd be like
reliably go
he's
to.
on Discord,
And
right?
yeah, he's on Discord. Yeah.
Liberator, hit me up. My DMs are open if you're in my server, bro. Come join in. Let's work on this fucking project. I legit want to work on this like large like information project. Come help out. Like we're all gonna do it like just
Yeah,
just
he's
for
super
funsies.
knowledgeable, um, just a really good guy. And then my other shout out, you guys might have seen him around Reddit. He seems to pop in anytime that there is a group by going down or possibly going down. Um, IOVERCALLHISTIOCYTES.
Wait, that sounds
He,
familiar.
yeah, you've seen him around. He's another just one of those great guys. Has been a very good friend to me outside of keyboards and part of keyboards. Um, he just is one of those people. Again, you want him on your team. He supports group buys. He supports the projects you want to see. I think the dude has like 7 SP111s because he loves that board that much. He will
Okay. Okay.
go out of the way to make sure that you know he supports like if we have a project that we want to make it through group buy, he's like, not my biggest, not a huge fan of it, but I'm buying one so we can make sure we have my kind of thing.
To
He's one of those guys that wants to support anybody's work that we support. So
to be fair, and this is like the big PSA. Listen, guys, not everybody in the hobby has the means. Not everybody is super well off. Like most people around the world, like don't do super well and don't have the capability to like spend hundreds
Mhm.
of dollars on a board all the time. So like when you see a project that is worthwhile, a project that has value, and like I've seen many people do this. We had Jono on recently. He's one of those people. We've had I mean, we haven't had, but I know plenty of people that have privately like bought multiple units of a project just to make it happen. If we roll back to something as early as like, GMK Burgundy or go back to GMK Hydro or go back to even further back, you always get people that, I mean, now historically became vendors, but we have people that went in and invested into a project just to make it happen.
Mhm.
And what I'm trying to say is if you have the means, you should absolutely support the projects that you think should succeed. It may not be a keyboard that you're super interested in, but by you buying one and like selling it to a friend or like, selling it at a loss to a friend, just so people have the opportunity. You have to understand that our hobby can go one of two ways. It's either going to go incredibly like capitalistic or it's going to be grassroots. And the grassroots approach allows people that have the means to help out, you know, please help out. Don't give me money. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm saying if you see a nice project that you know should happen, and there's been a lot of good fucking projects recently that like should have all the support. You got to get in there. It's kind of your duty. It's your duty as somebody that has that power. Like when I had that power, I used that power. I would support every group buy that I thought was cool. And in addition, I had a monthly budget that I would specifically spend on Metcay's Discord help channel for people that were like trying to figure something out and were really struggling to like put a build together. They didn't have enough money for like switches or enough money to like put together like a cheap kit, not like finance that shit out of pocket when I could. And the second I have that ability again financially where I can actually help people out, I will absolutely do it again. But if you have that capability, if you can buy a keyboard that you don't necessarily need just to support a project, you should. If it's a homegrown DIY fucking project that's somebody that's like deep in the community. Like if you're looking at something where they're gonna make fucking 7,000 units, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck if you buy one or not. But if Gondo's fucking making a wild, stupid project where every single switch is a knob and it's the dumbest layout you've ever seen, but it does something new that nobody's ever done, you gotta support that shit. You gotta fucking support that shit, guys. Come on. If you can. If you can.
Yeah.
If you cannot, do not. If you could like this
Insert the Reddit copy pasta of don't put yourself into debt over keyboards.
I mean, I've done it. I know every single person here has done it in one way or another, whether it was a keyboard that we wanted to get or a project that we were working on. We've every single one of us here has gone into debt for a keyboard, at least a little bit. So I'm not saying don't go into debt for a keyboard. I'm saying don't be stupid and don't overextend yourself. If you put it on a credit card and you know you can pay it next month, okay, that's fine. If you have to put yourself in a difficult spot, do not do it for keyboards. You can contribute to the hobby in other ways that are not financial. Your ability to get people together and help people and coordinate information and document things is so much more valuable than anything else that you could do monetarily. That's my take. I don't know if that's right or not, but like that's how I see it.
No, it's all good info. I want to give an opportunity to Bull and Gondo if they have nominations. If they don't, that's fine. Just because I want to thank them for being guest co-hosts. If you can think of anybody, either of you, that you want to shout out before we end this, please do so. But if not, we can end it.
Well,
yeah, or Gondo, would you like to go first?
Yep, absolutely. Please do.
Okay. I've got two again, I think. They're both good keyboard friends. I talk to them every day pretty much. But Jeff from Scoop Bar, he makes YouTube videos, so I'll give him a free shout out here.
Let's go.
Jeff is a great friend.
Are we gonna put the link in the description?
We will.
I can send it to Hubert.
He's a podcast
Jeff's a
guy
great
too.
friend.
Yeah.
I talk to him almost every day. We do like co-working and just hanging out, but he's helped me with advice. He's one of those friends where you can kind of show a design and then he'll point out maybe what is good, what is bad, because you need those friends. You need somebody to be honest with you as well. And then my second one would be Alexotos. If you guys didn't know, we're collaborating, but he's also just a really nice guy. Aside from his streams, he brings people into the hobby. He's just a good resource for people. He's super nice if you talk to him or get a chance. He also has a good community. And like his vendor list is a good resource if you're looking for where to buy from in certain regions. But also he's just a good dude. So yeah, those two guys are really nice, and I hope everybody gets a chance to talk to them.
Well, for me, honestly, someone that I've been having a lot in my mind recently was Mr. Keebs, right? I'm a little bit sad that he hasn't been in the Brazilian server for quite a while. And I am in the process of finishing my thesis. Actually, I finished it, and I was writing acknowledgments, and I put him in there. And the thing about Mr. Keebs was that guy gave me pretty much the kickstart for the PCBs, right? So he paid for the first prototypes ever. Like he didn't even know me. I just got into the server, and it was like, hey, so I saw that you're looking to design some PCBs. I'm like, yeah, I have some stuff. And he said, yeah, okay, so just make it happen and I'll pay for them. And that was a lot of fucking money, even at the time. And he's been a really good friend through the years. Talking to him pretty much every day. But I don't know exactly what happens. Actually, I think no one in the server knows what happens exactly if he outgrew the hobby, if he just doesn't want to hang around anymore. What I do know is his collections spend more than like 200 keyboards. He had a fucking he had like walls of keyboards. It was fucking awesome. So I have a hard time. Oh, that was just only keyboards though. He had like a whole room just for that shit. So an entire room of key sets and keycaps and switches and that kind of thing. It was pretty dope. So I don't think he quit the hobby, because if he did, I think we would see huge sales around. But he's not around anymore, and I'm a little bit sad about that. I wish he was still around. I wanted to talk to him a little bit more. Also, he's a very laid back guy, very nice person to be around. And when I first started doing like the professional projects and that kind of thing, he was a huge mentor, because he's not actually older. He's 40 something, but he's like an entrepreneur in the IT sector. So so he had a lot of insights as to how you should approach something professionally when coming from that something from a hobby. So he's like, hey, you got to change your mindset a little bit about that, and that really helped me. So yeah, huge shout out to Mr. Keebs, man. I hope that I hope he sees this, but I hope that he comes back. I wish I could talk to him a little bit more and get some more wisdom out of him.
I don't want to leave you out, Simon, if you have someone, if you want to say someone. But if not, that's fine.
Hello. My shout out is to Gian, but not in the way that you think. I don't have to tell anybody watching this or listening to this who Gian is and how much work he's put in.
Who's Gian, Simon?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The rest of this message is specifically for Gian and for nobody else watching. Gian, I know that there's been a lot of work and it's been tough. I know that like you haven't had the time to put your time and your effort into the keyboard business. But I think that's a sad thing. I think that you should do what you can to try to get the love of the keyboard hobby back. I know you're doing plenty of projects, but in terms of communicating with people in the community, in terms of being more open, a little bit like I love the live streams. The live streams were amazing. They were always when I was at the office in Dubai. So like I would watch a little bit until like, somebody was coming around, then I'd stop watching. But like I know that like Twitch in Korea is really fucked right now. So like YouTube is okay, but like Gian, we all still love you. We all still want to see you. We all still want to talk with you. Even if you don't have time, we understand it's okay. But like, it would be nice to spend time with you again, to talk with, people in the server, with good friends, to get involved again in projects and doing a little bit of live streams. That'd be amazing. But yes, we all love you. We all fucking love you. And we don't want to lose you. We do not want to lose you. So, whatever it is, take the time that you need, but please do not leave us. Do not leave the hobby. Do not leave the love of keyboards sitting somewhere. You got to keep it with you, my dude. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Gian, Mr. Keebs, Alex, Jeff from Scoop Bar, IOVERCALLHISTIOCYTES, and Liberator, and Shane. On behalf of myself, Simon, Tangus, James, Bull, Gondo, thank you so much, Cobertt. We love you. We hope to have you on in the near future.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.